to your Miracle Moment. I'm Marcy Scheimoff.
And I'm Deborah Poneman, and we're the co-founders of your Year of Miracles, where we help thousands of women around the world live lives in the miracle zone. And because this week we're celebrating Independence Day in both the US and Canada, today's Miracle Moment is about a way we can create greater freedom in our own lives. We are very grateful that we live in a time and a place and a country where we have the freedom to choose what kind of lives we want to create for ourselves. But many people, despite that freedom of choice, live in a constant state of overwhelm. We have the freedom to choose to continue to live in that state, or we can choose to free ourselves from it. And one way that we can begin to experience freedom from overwhelm is to harness the power of one little word. And that word is, you've probably guessed, the word no. You guessed it. And here's the beauty of no. When you say no to something that doesn't feel totally right for you, you're not really saying no at all. You're actually saying yes. You're saying yes to yourself and to your needs instead of the needs of someone else. And when you take care of your deepest needs, then you both, believe me, in the long run, everyone will get taken care of.
It's true. And we get how it's hard sometimes to say no to people or to set boundaries with people because, you know, we've actually both struggled with that ourselves. We're not always the best at saying no, but we're learning and we continue to learn. And over the years, we've come to realize that when we don't say no, it's only because we want approval. We want people to like us, right? We want...
Moi?
Yeah. We don't want to seem like we're selfish. We want people to think that we're really wonderful, great people. And unfortunately, when we don't say no, it often comes at the expense of our happiness and sometimes our health. And a great example of this happened to me, this was, I don't know, 3 or 4 years back when I was in Russia and I was giving speeches in a few different cities, and I had just finished giving 4 speeches in 3 days to very big audiences. There were close to 10,000 people in the audiences, and I was wearing my very, very, very high heels, and I was exhausted. I had signed over 1,000 books, and someone asked me after one of the events if I would meet them for tea. And my first impulse was to say yes, because I really wanted them to be happy, and I really wanted them to like me. But uncharacteristically, I got this great clarity, and I knew what was right for me. So I said in a very polite way, but in a very firm and clear way, thank you, but no. And instead, I went back to my hotel room, and I took this wonderful, nice, relaxing salt bath. And I remember when I was in the bath, I had the thought that they might have just been asking because they also wanted to seem like it was the polite thing to do. And maybe they really wanted it to be a no as well. So I got the rest that I needed. And when I saw them the next day, we compared notes about how our evenings were. And she had this really nourishing and relaxing evening, and she was so happy. We both really had just what the doctor ordered for our own bodies and for our own souls. So we've really come to believe, Deborah and I, that when you do what's right for yourself, when you act in alignment with your highest truth, then the universe works to make sure that it all works out for everybody. The way the universe works, when you act in your greatest alignment, you're also serving the highest good of the other person or other people. And when you say yes, when you really wanted to say no, you're probably going to end up feeling some degree of subtle resentment. You know, you're going to just feel like, God, I don't really want to be doing this. And you might resent saying yes to what you've agreed to. So what we say is say yes when it feels right for you, but when it doesn't, say no. Because if you don't, something on the subtle level gets damaged both in your own heart and maybe in the relationship for the person that you said yes to when you didn't want to.
And if the thought of saying no makes you really uncomfortable, we have a couple of baby steps that you can take to get into the no zone. which is a very close relative to the miracle zone.
It is true. You got to go through the no zone sometimes to get to the miracle zone.
So you start with things like when you walk through the department store and the perfume demonstrator asks if you want a spritz, and in a very nice way, you could say, no, thank you. I'm sure it's just lovely, but not today. Do you think you can give that one a try? Another baby step is if somebody calls you like a telemarketer or someone asking for a donation to a cause, instead of being rude like they expect you to be, say something like this: I'm really not interested right now and I would like you to take me off of your list, but I wish you great success tonight. Marcy and I both love
to do that. It's actually fun.
It's very fun. And they won't believe that you just wish them something nice while you're saying no. And usually they'll say something back like, wow, thanks. That's really nice of you. You said no and you made their day, and you'll end up feeling great too. So here's a suggestion. And it's a little project that you could take on between now and the next time we're together. And that is to say no to at least one thing a day. Just one thing that you genuinely want to say no to. There might be a feeling of contraction at the moment, but just breathe into it and notice how empowered you feel on the other side.
Yeah, and especially these days, it's the summer. You might be getting a lot of invitations to go to different events, maybe going to a barbecue or going to the beach, or you might even be asked to organize events. And just pause. Take a deep breath. Give yourself a few moments before you respond and ask yourself, is this really a yes for me? And remind yourself that time isn't a renewable resource. The world will in fact go on even when you say no. And then really check in with yourself and give your genuine answer. If you're not sure, you can always say, can I get back to you tomorrow on that? I'm not quite sure. So let's end with a great story. It's a little story about Warren Buffett. And we have a friend who had lunch with him. And our friend asked him, what do you think is the key to your extraordinary success? And he said, oh, that's really simple. The key is that I say no to 99.99% of the things that come my way. And he's also been quoted as saying the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.
So look inside your heart and say no to the things that are really a no for you, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Marcy and I wish you a miraculously empowered summer, enjoying freedom from overwhelm and lots of
no's.